What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button. Hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. And with this video, we are jumping into Task Force Z. This will be issue number 6, and if you have not been keeping up with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. And with issue number 6, we are finally finding out how all of this began. We are finding out who is behind this, who Two-Face is actually working for, how Amanda Waller is involved in everything, what role Mr. Bloom has been playing in this, and Batman finally decides to interfere. So be sure to buy the comic, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so we are picking up months ago in a secret laboratory. This is where it all began. This is where the Lazarus resin had been perfected. They are now encapsulating all of this Lazarus resin. They are using this resin to bring people back from the dead. This is all being funded by Gary Powers of Powers Industry. They are doing this in an attempt to make money because this is a billion-dollar industry if they perfect it, and that's exactly what they did this day. They did this with the help of the Resurrection Man. And Dr. Walter, while he may think that he is everything behind this, he tells Bloom and the others they're more or less not getting anything for this. And when Bloom hears this, he kinda loses his temper. He makes a concoction and he throws it down. This entire laboratory goes up in flames. And we're seeing that Bloom, the whole time, he had been working in the background. He actually helped create this Lazarus resin using the blood of the Resurrection Man along with the Lazarus resin. They mixed it together, created this concoction. But after learning that he is not getting any credit, not any money, not even his freedom, he decides to destroy everything that they have built. And that's what brings us to current day. Right now, Red Hood, he is strung up, and KG Beast is interrogating him, trying to find out any information he is willing to give up. But that's where we have the arrival of Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, and Bane, not willing to leave him behind. We see the fight begin. KG Beast throwing a knife directly into the skull of Bane, being able to take down Mr. Freeze relatively quickly. But the truth is, Bane is more or less undead. After taking this Lazarus resin, that knife to the skull, it does not slow him down. In fact, he grabs KG Beast, he slams him against the wall, taking rounds into his stomach, holding on to KG Beast. This fight is over with. Bane about ready to just snap him in half. Two-Face lets them know that they need to keep him alive. With Two-Face going in to interrogate him, we see him reach down to his hip and he hits a button. This button is a self-destruct, with Mr. Freeze throwing up a barrier just in the nick of time. He stops the blast from hitting them, but this entire building comes falling down. And with Bane removing a ton of this rubble, we see that Red Hood, Mr. Freeze, Two-Face, they are all still alive. Barely able to survive this, they got out of it just in the nick of time, grabbing KG Beast's skeleton and bringing it along with them. Two-Face plans to use him and bring him onto the team, and that's because their team right now is looking a little slim, with Deadshot's brain being destroyed, not able to find the head of Sundowner or Man-Bat. And with Mr. Bloom nowhere to be seen, they're gonna need every bit of help that they can get. Now, months ago, Mr. Bloom, he was able to escape, being able to grab the 2 clone doctors as well as Lazarus resin. He has a proposal for the former senator, letting Mr. O'Connor know that the 2 of them together, they were about to make billions of dollars. But while Bloom can't be the face of this, that's exactly what O'Connor is for, picking us back up with Two-Face and Red Hood as they make their getaway heading back to the chop shop. This is where they pick up a tail. That tail is the Batmobile, and Red Hood decides that he is going to be the one to jump out and stop him, to slow Batman down and figure out what they're going to do next. because now at this point Red Hood, he firmly believes in everything that Two-Face is doing. The only issue with this, Batman does not. So with Red Hood jumping onto the hood of his car, Batman hits the brakes, Red Hood goes flying, and then this is when the conversation begins, with Batman telling him that he needs to stay down and listen, because he didn't come here to fight him. He came here to stop Red Hood. That if you want to fight, if it comes down to that, that is going to be your choice, and just know that I won't be holding back. But Red Hood, he wants to see this through. Batman sent him on this mission to begin with, to investigate what Two-Face was doing, where these Lazarus resin pits were, where it was coming from, how they were encapsulating it, so on and so forth. But now Batman believes that he is too deep, rolling around town with Mr. Freeze, Bane, and Two-Face. From the outside looking in, it looks like Red Hood has flipped sides, that he is going down a bad path with some bad men, and Batman simply will not allow this. But Red Hood tries to let him know that you have always believed this city is yours alone to protect. The truth of the matter, people like Red Hood, they came from this city as well. They have suffered in this city, they've hurt in this city, and they will do anything to protect this city. That is not just the responsibility of Batman any longer. But Batman also believes that Jason is his fault, giving him training, giving him the tools to be who he is. He refuses to let this training, these tools, be used in this manner. Jason telling him that he's not something that was built. He's not a weapon, he was raised, and he is asking him right now to be the father that he never truly was. That Batman brought him into this world of pain and death and constant reminders that he'll never measure up to somebody like him or Dick Grayson. And while he knows that, he has made mistakes because he was scared, because he was angry, because he was hurt. But the truth is, Batman has never been there when he truly needed him. But right now, he is trying. He is trying to right his wrongs. And right now, more than anything, he needs Batman, the man who raised him, to have a little faith and trust him. And Batman says that that is a lot to ask. You are running around with Bane, with Two-Face, with Mr. Freeze. You call them a team. You say they have your back, but where are they? They left you here to stand and fend by yourself, and they took off. But as soon as he says those words, from behind him, this is where we see Task Force Z, with Jason letting Batman know that if there is no hope for them to be saved, then there is also no hope for me to be saved. If you are going to judge people on the sins of their past, then you have to do the same with me. You cannot play favorites in this game. That if you're going to arrest us, you're going to arrest all of us. As a team, we will all go to Arkham together. You can sit here and try to take all of us on, or you can step the hell out of the way and let us try to save this city. That's what takes us to months ago. We pick up with former Senator O'Connor and Two-Face. Two-Face, he is getting a demonstration of the Lazarus resin. He is seeing what it can truly do. Experimenting on Fishman, they are able to bring him back to life. With the senator saying that he's moved into the private sector, he has come to make some serious money. And to do that, they need an audience with Amanda Waller, believing that Two-Face may have the connections to find out where she is and set up that meeting. They might be able to pitch this to her and start a very lucrative business. Picking us up inside the chop shop in current time, we are seeing that the entire laboratory has been destroyed. With this destruction, Bloom is gone, and they are now just figuring out everything that has happened. That Bloom has been behind every single aspect of this. Stealing all of their Lazarus resin, chopping off the head of Fishman. There is nothing left. They can't bring anybody back. Believing that he needs to talk to our former senator. That is not possible, because Bloom brought him along, and the senator is now dead as well. And now at this point, they're recognizing they're probably pretty screwed. Bloom was able to play everybody, showing us months ago at Amanda Waller's office. First of all, she is furious that they're even showing up to begin with. They found this secret location, and she really doesn't want to hear anything that Two-Face has to say. But after giving a little demonstration, using Arkham Knight and bringing her back to life, Amanda Waller can't help but see the potential in this, with Amanda Waller more or less being sold on this, creating a Task Force Z. She says that they are going to need a pretty face for all of this to work. That pretty face is Jason Todd. So all of this had been planned by Amanda Waller. She gave the okay. She gave them their whole name. What she didn't know is Bloom was playing everybody. Senator O'Connor, Two-Face, every single person, and now he is the only person who has capsules to this Lazarus resin. Jumping us back to current time, we have Two-Face and all of Task Force Z making it to Amanda Waller's office, only to see that she has ditched out. She is no longer here, and there is no trace of her. The only thing they have is a pinup board showing that Amanda Waller, she had been tracking this, trying to figure out who was the brains behind everything. But before she left, she hadn't figured it out. She hadn't pinpointed that Bloom was the one responsible. But now they have their new mission. The only thing that they can do is hunt down and kill Mr. Bloom. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, this is the issue that we had been waiting for. This story has been a little bit confusing with multiple squads, multiple people, Amanda Waller, Two-Face. It really just didn't make sense, but this one brings it all together. They had to get the blessing from Amanda Waller. Amanda Waller was the one that brought Jason Todd onto this team. And while it really did look like a legitimate government-sanctioned operation, the truth of the matter is that Bloom, he planned this from the very get-go. From day one, this has all been under his thumb. Recognizing he wouldn't get any freedom, he wouldn't get any money when he created or helped create this with the help of Resurrection Man. Instead of laying down and just taking it, he took everything, he ran off with it, he helped them recreate it, and then when things went sideways, he took his opportunity to make his escape, has his own little private army now, has the funding, and has the Lazarus resin. He was able to outsmart and outmanipulate literally everybody, and now they are stuck chasing their tails, trying to figure out where he is going to strike next. We got to assume that Amanda Waller, she had taken off to Earth 3, or at least she's on the run and she hasn't made it to Earth 3 yet, depending on where the series is taking place in the timeline. And one of my favorite takeaways from this is Jason Todd getting some true character arc. We're finally starting to see our characters grow more as people, and Jason really coming into his own and finding out exactly who he wants to be in Gotham City. Already giving the guns up, going and switching to crowbars. Now he finds himself working alongside Two-Face, Bane, and all these individuals that are really looking for a second chance in life. Especially after they've died, it's more or less a real wake-up call to say, hey man, you might want to try to go on the straight and narrow, at least try to do better for the time being to get your freedom. Now what you do after that, that's going to be completely up to you. But this is giving our villains really the opportunity to be something more than they have always been. And individuals like Two-Face, they really are taking full advantage of that. And Jason Todd, he's trying to find his place in all of it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to support the channel, you can hit the donation button, which is the super like button. It will let you donate directly to the channel, and it helps us out tremendously. If you can't do that, you can subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, help us get that algorithm going so more people can be reached. And with that being said, until the next breakdown.